You never expect betrayal to come from someone you trust the most. And honestly, I never thought I'd have a story like this. I met Lily during my second year of college. She had just posted an ad looking for a roommate, and I had just gotten out of a living situation that drained me. We met at a campus cafe, and within 5 minutes, we clicked. Not just friendly small talk, it felt like we'd known each other for years. She was warm. Not the loud, extroverted type. Just kind. Quiet. Thoughtful. She noticed things other people didn't. She remembered when I had big exams. She brought me coffee on days I looked exhausted. She didn't ask for anything in return. She just did it. We moved into a small apartment just off campus. It wasn't perfect. The sink leaked. Our upstairs neighbor vacuumed at midnight. But it felt like home. We fell into a rhythm. We watched bad documentaries on Friday nights. We shared groceries. We even started finishing each other's sentences. People would joke and say, "You two are basically sisters." And honestly, I believe that. She felt like family. But now, when I think back on those first few months, I realize I was missing something. I just didn't know what yet. At first, it was small things. Little moments that didn't feel right. But I brushed them off. Because that's what you do when you trust someone. The first time I noticed it, we were studying in the living room. I had left my phone on the table and went to the kitchen to make tea. When I came back, she was just sitting there, smiling. But my phone screen was still on. It had been locked when I left. I didn't say anything. Maybe I had imagined it. Or maybe she had just bumped it accidentally. I convinced myself it didn't matter. Then my emails started logging me out randomly. I thought maybe it was just my phone glitching. I even reset my password a couple of times. She offered to help, said maybe I had a virus. I told her not to worry, and she didn't push. But I kept seeing her glance at my screen. Not long. Just once in a while. Quick, like she was checking something. I started waking up in the middle of the night and hearing sounds. Like someone opening a drawer. But it would stop the second I moved. Again, I told myself it was nothing. I was stressed. I was overthinking. Besides, Lily was always the same. Sweet. Supportive. Always there. Maybe I was just paranoid. But even then, I knew something had shifted. A few weeks later, I had a group project due and needed to print something last minute. My laptop was dead, so I asked Lily if I could borrow hers for a second. She said yes without hesitation and handed it to me. I opened it, typed in the document name, and when I clicked the search bar, her recent files popped up. One of them had my name in the title. It was a Word document. Just my name. First and last. I hesitated, then opened it. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't something funny or sweet. It was a list. A list of things I had said. Things I liked. Password hints I had once mentioned in passing. Names of people I had dated. Notes about arguments I'd had with my parents. It wasn't written like a diary. It was organized. Bullet points. Clean formatting. Almost clinical. I scrolled and kept finding more. Quotes I barely remembered saying. Dates. My class schedule. The routes I usually walked to class. I couldn't breathe. She walked into the room just as I closed the laptop. She smiled and asked, "Did it work?" I said yes. My hands were shaking. But she didn't seem to notice. Or maybe she did. And didn't care. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything in my head, the document, the way she smiled, like nothing was wrong. I decided I needed to get out. The next morning, I packed a small bag. Just essentials. I told her I was going to spend the weekend at my cousin's place. She didn't ask many questions. Just nodded. But as I was about to leave, she said something that froze me. "You left your charger," she smiled, holding it out. I hadn't even realized I'd forgotten it. It was already packed. I took it from her slowly. "Thanks." My voice was flat. I didn't want her to hear the panic. I stayed with my cousin for a few days. Didn't tell her the real reason. But I started changing my passwords. Every single one. Locked down my email, bank, socials, everything. When I came back, things were different. Lily wasn't home when I arrived. Half her stuff was missing. Drawers open. Closet half empty. There was no note. No message. Nothing. Just gone. But on my desk, there was a flash drive. No label. No case. Just sitting there. I should have left it alone. But I didn't. I plugged it in. And everything I thought I knew fell apart. At first, the flash drive looked empty. Just one folder. Titled Us. I opened it. Inside were dozens of subfolders. Each one named after a date. Some from before we even moved in together. Some from before I even met her. I opened one. It was a screen recording of my old Instagram stories. Ones I didn't even remember posting. Another folder had audio recordings. Clips of my voice. Conversations. Phone calls. One of them was me venting to a friend about my breakup from 2 years ago. Another folder had pictures. Photos of me sleeping. From different angles. Different nights. I felt sick. I didn't even know how she took them. I never saw a camera. There were notes too. Typed documents like the one on her laptop. But some had names. Other people. Friends. My ex-professors. It was like she had been collecting me. Studying me. One last folder was password protected. It was titled Final. And the password hint was my childhood dog's name, which I had only mentioned once. Casually. In a half-asleep conversation. She remembered. Or worse, she wrote it down. I didn't open it. I couldn't. I just pulled the flash drive out and sat there. Alone. With the terrifying thought. I never really knew who she was. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't stop thinking about that final folder. What was inside? And what did she want from me? The next morning, I decided to find out more about her, really find out. I searched her full name online. The one I'd seen on the apartment lease. And what I found wasn't what I expected. There were no social media accounts. No school records. No family connections. But then a forum post popped up. An old thread from 4 years ago. Someone asking about a Lily West. The replies were vague. Some said she was a fake name. Some mentioned she had scammed a girl in another state. Moved in with her. Disappeared. Same pattern. Different name. I kept digging. Found a missing persons case from Arizona. A girl claimed her college roommate vanished after stealing her identity. They never found her. But she left behind a flash drive. I felt cold. Every part of my body was shaking. This wasn't random. I wasn't the first. And I wouldn't be the last. That night, I packed everything I owned. Left the apartment. Moved back with my family. I filed a police report. Handed over the flash drive. Blocked every number, deleted every photo. But even now, sometimes, I wake up in the middle of the night feeling watched. Like someone's still studying me. Somewhere. Silently. Weeks passed. The police tried tracing the flash drive. But it led nowhere. No fingerprints. No digital trail. Lily West, if that was even her name, had vanished. Again. They told me she was likely a drifter. Someone who built false identities, moved from person to person, and then disappeared once she got what she wanted. But what did she want? Money? No. Status? No. Control? Maybe. Or maybe it was just me. Not in the romantic sense, but in the way someone studies a bug in a jar. Every behavior. Every flaw. Every wound. I deleted every trace of her. Burned old photos. Wiped my devices. But there's one thing I can't delete. That final folder on the flash drive. I never opened it. Still don't know what's inside. Sometimes I wonder, what if she left it for me? What if it's not about me, but about her? A confession? A threat? A goodbye? Or maybe it's just the start? Maybe, somewhere out there, she's already watching someone new. Learning their routines. Recording their dreams. And one day, they'll find a flash drive too. Labeled Us. If you've ever had a roommate like this, I feel you. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I post stories just like this every week. Thanks for listening.